welcome back. I'm going to talk about the importance of getting a full thyroid panel today. This is going to be a little bit different. I just want to share about 4 slides from my training, the 3-phase formula to heal your thyroid. And so in this training, I go through like the gut hormone connection, but this is just one little snippet where I go over the importance of getting a full thyroid panel. So as you can see here, the conventional approach to checking your thyroid is to only check TSH. Maybe sometimes they'll check a free T4, but if that TSH is normal, usually meaning like less than 5, they're like, oh, well, it's not your thyroid, nothing here. Like, oh, you're tired, get some rest. Oh, you can't lose weight, just eat less and exercise more. But here's the thing, normal does not mean optimal. So optimal are the ranges that I use in functional medicine. And optimal is a TSH around 2 or less. And a TSH that's over 2 and you're having symptoms absolutely 1000% needs a full thyroid panel. TSH is a brain hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone that comes from the brain, tells your thyroid, hey, make more hormone. And we'll get into this a little bit more. But so TSH here, for one example, 3.17. Oh, totally normal, right? Like it falls within that range. It's not flagged high, it's not flagged low. However, to me, that's too high. And this is a real example from someone, and it's not an anomaly. I'm catching this stuff all the time in women. Let me show you what an actual full thyroid panel is. So yes, it's a TSH. It's a free T4, which is your inactive thyroid hormone. We also want to be looking at free T3, which is your active thyroid hormone. That's the hormone that gets into your cells to create your metabolism from head to toe, okay? We also want reverse T3. If this is high, it can actually block the cells from the active thyroid hormone getting in, which obviously is not a good thing. We also want to check for antibodies for Hashimoto's. So that's TPO and TG antibodies. So Hashimoto's is the #1 cause of hypothyroidism, especially in women. And so if you have hypothyroidism but you've never been checked for Hashimoto's, it's highly likely that you actually have Hashimoto's, and it's this immune dysregulation that is then attacking the thyroid and causing hypothyroidism. Okay, but look at this. So we're taking that same TSH here, that was 3.17, right? Totally normal totally normal when we're looking at it from a normal conventional standpoint. However, remember I said optimal is less than 2. So then we dig deeper, we get more of this thyroid panel. We find that, let's start with her inactive hormone, free T4, 0.98. Okay, still that falls within the normal range, right? However, from my standpoint, optimal is 1 to 1.25. So she is suboptimal there. Now here's the really big kicker, free T3, which is her active thyroid hormone, right? The one that gets into your cells to create all metabolic processes in the body, 1.9. Oh my goodness, even from the lab's reference range, it's low. So this means from my standpoint, it's extremely low. So my optimal range is 3.5 to 4, and this can vary. You know, I have women feel pretty good at 3.5. Some need it all the way up to 4, maybe just slightly above 4 to feel their best. And so this woman at 1.9 is absolutely struggling with all kinds of hypothyroid symptoms, even though her TSH is normal, right? We also look at reverse T3. Optimal is less than 12. She falls within the normal range again, but optimal, she's above that. So this also means that not only does she have low free T3, that active thyroid hormone, she also has high reverse T3, which is basically standing in front of those cells saying, nope, active hormone cannot get in. So we've got kind of a double whammy happening here. What's next here? Okay, so, and then also we want to get Hashimoto's antibodies. Those weren't on the previous slide. But so what does your doctor do if your TSH is above 5? Well, they give a medication, a T4 only medication called levothyroxine or Synthroid. This does absolutely nothing to answer why. Why is the thyroid running sluggish? Why is the brain kicking out more TSH saying, hey, I need more thyroid hormone, right? So we need to be digging deeper into, do you have Hashimoto's? Is there an immune dysregulation that's causing hypothyroidism? Is it attacking your thyroid? Do you have nutrient deficiencies? So things like amino acids, selenium, zinc, iron, those are all crucial for converting the T4 to T3, inactive to active thyroid hormone. High or low cortisol. So in the hierarchy of hormones, cortisol is like a master hormone over all of the others that are below it in that hierarchy. So it does control thyroid hormone production and utilization, toxin exposures, sluggish liver and detox. So that conversion from inactive to active thyroid hormone happens mostly in the liver. And so there are certain markers on a pretty typical standard blood work test that I can see. Are your liver markers suboptimal? Again, not just within that normal range, but using my optimal ranges. And so a lot of women have a problem converting T4 to T3. That hormone has to be activated. Most of it happens in the liver. Some of it does happen in the gut. And so liver health and function is absolutely tied to hypothyroidism. So as you can see here, TSH tells the brain, kick out more T4. It does secrete some T3, but mostly T4 has to get converted into T3 in the liver. Many women have trouble making that conversion, like I said, due to nutrient deficiencies, cortisol problems, inflammation, chronic stress, a need for liver support. Yes, there is a genetic variation that can inhibit that activation, but a lot of times so many times I'm finding these issues here that can be worked on. And so this is absolutely why, number one, you could still have hypothyroid symptoms even if your TSH is normal, according to your doctor. I hope you can see that now. And this is also why if you have hypothyroidism, you're on levothyroxine or Synthroid, your doctor can just keep going up and up and up on that T4 only medication. But if you're not converting it into T3 in the liver, if you don't have all of these things kind of in order and you're not converting it to T3, well, then they can increase that T4 medication all they want, but your body's not doing what it's supposed to with it, okay? That doesn't mean your body's broken. It just means there's something going on here. And so if you're like, gosh, is there, it seems like something else is happening, but your doctor's like, nope, this is, just try to get some rest, eat less, move more, I don't know, red flag, okay? So only looking at TSH is not appropriate. Okay, I think that's it. Yes, and then the rest of I'm not going to go through the rest of the slides here, but hopefully you can see now the importance of getting a full thyroid panel. I would say TSH is actually the number I care about the least, right? I want to know, do you have enough inactive hormone and are you converting it to active hormone? Do you have high reverse T3 that's basically blocking your active hormone from getting into the cells? And do you have Hashimoto's? Those are crucial questions to be answering. And scenarios like this, like I said, are not an anomaly. This is what I do day in and day out for women. And I know it's frustrating that the conventional world does it so differently, and even some integrative or functional providers are not checking reverse T3. They're not checking free T3. They're still only giving they'll just switch you to NP thyroid or something, which is a T4 and T3 medication, which is a little bit better, but there's so much personalization that has to happen when it comes to hypothyroidism. What works for one woman is not going to be what works for the next. Like I said, one woman can feel great at a free T3 of 3.5, others need it up around 4, so we've got to take the full clinical picture into account. The other thing too is a lot of times a thyroid problem is often a symptom of something deeper going on, like with the gut, with inflammation, with nutrient deficiencies, with sluggish liver, with cortisol. We've got to look at this entire picture. If you know me at all, you know that I am very big on not leaving out any one system of the body because they all work together. They're all connected. And so thyroid problems are not a root cause. They're a symptom of something else going on. And so getting a full thyroid panel is great, but we still want to be asking why. Why am I not converting T4 to T3? Why do I have Hashimoto's? Why is my reverse T3 high? Reasons for that would be things like inflammation, stress, maybe you're on the wrong kind of thyroid medication. I'll see reverse T3 being really high when you're on a T4 only medication or levothyroxine or Synthroid. If your body's not taking that T4 and converting it into T3, it can actually push it down. Let me show you real quick. It can push it down the pathway to convert into reverse T3 here. So, like I said, your doctor's dumping more and more T4, increasing that dose of levothyroxine or Synthroid, and your body's just kicking it into reverse T3. That is not good. That will actually can make you feel worse. Certainly will not make you feel better. It's not doing anything to address that problem with the T4 to active T3 hormone. So I could talk about this forever. This is one of the main things we do with our one-on-one clients inside our signature program. If you're interested in getting this full training, the 3-phase formula to heal your thyroid when elimination diets and medications just aren't working for you, definitely check that out. I'm going to put it in the description below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.